Chris Meek and the Citroen arriving here. And of course, we had some big news for the East Coast Bull Bars Australian Championship with the announcement of Citroen going to join our championship from 2014, which is fantastic. So big buzz down here. A big day yesterday at the rally show, of course, and then the Super Stage had two passes through here. Our ARC cars getting the worst of the conditions almost, and a tough run for them. We're going to go out and chat to them in the service park very shortly. But the big news for today, just to fill you in, is because of the dust and the conditions, the organisers had to extend the dust gaps or the gaps between the cars on the stages, which means we will drop some kilometres. So normally we'd have done around about 85 kilometres for our ARC teams today. It's been reduced to 66. So leg one becomes a real sprint for our teams. Tom Wild just shared with me that unlike most of the World Championship rounds, you actually got plenty of sleep because of a later start today, which is nice.
Yeah, it's a bit of a late start, so gentleman hours today. So I got a full 9 hours sleep, which is unheard of in the middle of a rally. So yeah, it's really good.
And what's your take on yesterday? The power stage, obviously missed out on some points, but you know, last night you were on the pace on the super stage here.
Yeah, I had a bit of a crack in the power stage and just stuffed up a couple of corners pushing too hard. So I just pulled it together for the power stage, especially with the second run. We're a lot quicker through there, just tidied it all up. So if we can just take that through for the rest of the weekend and have a really neat and tidy run, I think the points are there at the end.
Good Thursday for you. Power stage, maximum points. And of course, two passes around here on the super stage, and you've nailed both of them to a small lead, but it's a lead nonetheless.
Yeah, so it was only 1.6 k's each run, so to be 2.6 seconds is a gap that I probably didn't think I'd get at the start. So I'm more than happy with that. So you know, after the power stage, I'm feeling really confident with the setup of the car and the tyre choices we've made. So I think we'll go all right this morning. But I know Scott Petter's just going to be on an absolute charge. He has to win these next two events, and he's made it clear that that's going to be his target. So it's going to be interesting out there.
That was a tough Thursday for you guys. Only did it probably about sort of 4 or 5 competitive kilometres, but tough for you and the car.
Yeah, hit 2 barriers. So based on odds, we're about 1 barrier every 3 or 4 k. So hopefully that improves today. But yeah, it was a tough day yesterday, and hopefully things improve today.
We talk about the super stages, you know, they're small, and you know, there's only a small gap that Eli's got, but he's won 2 stages now, and it was tough conditions out there. Will you push tonight on that super stage?
I think, yeah, you have to a little bit. Obviously, it's one of those stages which rewards, having a go. You sort of get a lot of understeer if you don't. Very, very slippery stage, and it's very surprising. In one of those stages, we took totally the wrong tyre for it. Yeah, we'll have another go tonight and hopefully improve.
Conditions got quite bad. The WRC cars obviously started to rip it up, and it got very, you know, tell us what it was like to run through with these cars first time through.
Yeah, it looked nothing like when we recce'd it the first time. And I spoke to you at the finish line, and you said you looked like you're in shock, and that's exactly what I was. I just couldn't believe what the stage looked like. And look, it was tough in the little front wheel drive. I felt like some of the ruts were going to swallow the car up.
The first corner we got to was like an ice skating ring. Turned in, the front slid, we got the rear to come round, bumped the barrier there, and then I just took it easy. I went, no, I don't want to ruin this rally on the first stage. But today's totally different. We've got an 8k stage to start off. Yeah, I think people are going flat out from the start, so it's not really a warm-up. You want to jump in and have a crack, but the car feels good.
We had a bit of a go, but wanted to keep the car off the concrete. Plenty of things can go wrong out there. There's concrete bollards and the wall, and the ruts were so deep that when you slide into them, if you've still got the opposite lock on the car and you hit the rut, it'll drive you straight into the wall.
I think we're going to see a bit of that out in the forest in certain sections where there's going to be some really big ruts from the WRC cars. But you know, generally their lines are pretty good. So if you can stick in their lines and drive hard in them, then you should be able to still do pretty good stage times.